I can't help but feel like maybe this movie should have gone straight to Amazon Prime because it feels like one of those Amazon Prime original movie offerings. When I first saw the trailer for Mercy, I'll be honest, I was pretty interested. After all, it is a sci-fi movie, and it is taking two genres. It's taking sci-fi and a cop story and combining them into one thing, so there definitely was something pulling me in with that aspect. But honestly, that doesn't have anything to do with what ultimately made me want to watch this movie. What made me want to watch this movie is my girl, Rebecca Ferguson. I just love her. She is awesome in everything she does, and she is no stranger to the sci-fi genre. Check out Silo on Amazon Prime if you want to see a great show featuring this legendary actress. So that's what hooked me in right away, but I do have to say I find this story to be pretty fascinating as well. I feel like for sure this movie is going to get compared to that movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, which is pretty old at this point. And in that movie, they are dealing with preventing the crime. They are going through and they detect that someone's going to commit a crime and then they go arrest them. This movie, the AI in this movie's job is to handle what happens after that crime has taken place. So in this film, Chris Pratt is playing a man who was instrumental in getting this Mercy system set up, and now here he is on the other side of it, a place that he never really wanted to be, of course. So we've got that intrigue there, we've got that intrigue. Why would somebody who knows exactly how this system works commit a murder? Very intriguing indeed. Mystery is deepening. And although I do think this movie stretches that sci-fi label more than it really should, I did think that there was some compelling stuff in this movie that had me paying close attention. I couldn't help but feel like parts of this movie were really reminding me of playing a video game. Kind of like that game Detroit Become Human, or basically any game where you're playing a detective and you're going through a crime scene and you're scanning through and looking through all the little details. So those parts of the movie I thought were really, really fun. It definitely brought out that gamer vibe in me. Now let's talk about these performances. As I already said, I love Rebecca Ferguson and she does a great job in this movie. Chris Pratt does a good enough job for what he's supposed to be playing. He's playing a man who is strapped to a chair throughout most of this movie. And he does have some truly compelling moments in this film. And you see throughout the course of this movie that his character is not black and white at all. He very much is in that gray area way of living. And it's because his character is so gray with his intentions and his actions and his behavior that it keeps you guessing, it keeps you intrigued. Did he do this? Did he not? You really are trying to figure it out, and from one moment to the next, it's really hard to get a grasp on his innocence in this movie. So we have a pretty interesting premise and we have some really good performances. Now let's talk about the bad shit in this movie. It's ridiculous. It's over the top to the point where I was very much rolling my eyes throughout a lot of this film. I know that this Mercy system is supposed to be this crazy, powerful AI that has access to everything, but this movie is really counting on you to not ask too many questions about how did the AI get access to all this? How did the AI get access to this thing? Is this even morally allowed? How did this become legalized? It's just really, really insane. This is like some 1984 level of concerning shit going on in this movie. So if anyone out there is thinking of building an AI system that is designed to judge somebody's guilt, please watch this movie because it exposes just how mediocre and plot hole filled that really can become. I know for sure I'm thinking I don't want to live in a world where something like this is possible because this movie shows you that it's not all it's cracked up to be. I know this is fictional, I know that this is a sci-fi, but damn, my mind can only stretch so far, and this movie made me feel like I was Pedro Pascal in the Fantastic Four. And then the last third of this movie became this ridiculous over-the-top action sequence that movies always feel obligated to do. I think that last third is like, okay, we have to do the big action sequence now, and this movie does it. It's filled with such horrible, horrible CGI. And you know how people really hate 3D? Because I think one of the things people don't like about 3D is the scenes that are intentionally meant to be gimmicky, to throw things at the audience. I didn't see this movie in 3D, but you can very much see those moments in this film, and it just felt cheap. I kept thinking, I'm glad I'm not watching this with 3D glasses. Sure, stuff would be flying out at me, but I would be very annoyed how gimmicky it all feels. You can just tell it's gimmicky, and there's just, yeah, did I say the CGI sucks? The CGI really, really sucks. It does not sell this big action sequence that we get in the end of this film. I really wanted to like this film against my better judgment because I'm going to be upfront and say that, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Chris Pratt. He's one of those actors that I feel has become less interesting the more popular story he's gotten, but he does have some really solid performances under his belt, and he is a pretty solid actor. He's got his own personal things that I don't love about him, but he can do some good performances. Think of that movie Passengers with Chris Pratt. That is a very good sci-fi film. If you want to see a good sci-fi film with Chris Pratt, that's something to look at, not this stuff. Because this movie is way over the top. It has mind-warping coincidences that made me feel like I was going to get a literal headache. And just ridiculous plot holes that never feels like they got answered. This movie feels by and large like a straight-to-streaming movie in a way that is just shocking. I mean, how did this get put into cinemas with this movie being just so mediocre? I've seen much better movies actually on video-on-demand services. I know Amazon can do better, so I'm very confused how this got put into cinemas being so mid. Because the longer this movie went on, the more the novelty started wearing off and the worse I started feeling about it. For me, this movie is a solid 5 out of 10. I think that's me being pretty generous. It's got enough going on that I feel it can deserve that. We got the performances, we got some decent tension build up, but other than that, we've got some problems, guys. We've got some fucking problems. So wait and catch this shit on Amazon Prime. That's where this movie should have been to begin with. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button to let me know that you liked it. And if you want to hear more things from me, subscribe to this channel. Later.